So we'll do the trade news first because there was 2 trades last week.
Two
One of
trades
them is
last week.
an Orkney trade.
So it's Kirkwall Raiders receiving Sam Howell
Yeah.
and sending to
Devin
Kirkwall
Singletary and Jonas
Cowboys
Smith.
Devin Singletary and Jono Smith. I mean, obviously, Allen's needing a quarterback to see him over the line. Maybe I would like to think maybe
his quarterback. He's got Trevor Lawrence, who scored 40 points this week against Sam Howell's 24. But I think it's probably because Howell's the one of the highest scorers, so you can understand why he did it. But
yeah, I mean, it's picking up Sam Howell's done just absolutely fine in fantasy football all season long. It's he's done fine for the Commanders indeed. And it's so. I mean, yeah, fair enough. And he's not. What's he given up? He's given up Jono Smith, which is a boomer bust, and more often than not bust. And Devin Singletary has done well the last couple of weeks, but Pierce will be back next week. He's going to lose touches there. So, yeah, I see the point in the trade. Obviously, Cowboys are looking for a running back, and Allen wanted a second quarterback. And if it is Trevor Lawrence he's got, I don't overly blame him because Lawrence has had some really poor weeks.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's obviously Sam Howell's probably 2 worst games this season have both been against the Giants. Because I did mention that in the other pod that he only got in their own league 3 points in the first game. For some reason, the Giants has got his number. But yeah, he's been thrown all over the place and scoring loads of points, especially in this format. So
and I've not maybe Allen's looked forward that player because Allen's good for Allen's in the playoffs now for sure. So maybe he's looked forward at some schedules and liked Howell's better than Lawrence's. Maybe I don't know. It could go, but at that stage of the season now,
Yeah, well, as you say though, Ken, Howell Lawrence for the most part has been pretty average.
Yeah, he has been.
Especially when they get the run game going, he doesn't throw the ball as much. So
yeah, no, it's I can see why he's done it. So yeah, good trade, fair trade.
That's a nice one. It's first Orkney trade between Orkney players, so that's good. Then we've got the Manchester Spinners receiving Matthew Stafford and giving away Chris Olave to the Lancaster Bombers, who I think have all but qualified in the playoffs as well. I think so.
Yeah, I think they had a good win this week. I believe Lanarkshire Bombers. I'm sure they're one that jumped out at me, and I think they won against an 8-2 team who are now 8-3, and it got them to 7-4. So yeah, I think they're very much in the hunt.
But this was a neat one though because Manchester Spinners only had Joe Burrow.
Okay, but yeah,
so they've got the opportunity to get rid of Stafford, pick up a decent wide receiver for a player that's a quarterback. So
yeah, it's an absolute needs must move from Manchester Spinners, and Chris Olave he's an absolute superstar, but for some reason or another he's just not clicking with Derek Carr. So it's you would think it's a great move from Lanarkshire Bombers, and surely a player of his ability is only going to score more points as the season goes on. But he's had some bad weeks, and so as a risk, Lanarkshire Bombers are taking a risk, but they're giving up nothing. I'm assuming that they've got a much better quarterback than Matthew Stafford sitting at number 1, so they're effectively giving up nothing for Chris Olave. So great move from Lanarkshire Bombers, taking advantage of the fact that Manchester Spinners needed a quarterback.
Yeah, I did quite like it, obviously because Stafford will get on points as well. I don't know if Nick Tassick can actually finish in the playoffs, but I'll certainly help them in the consolation bracket. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you still need someone throwing the ball. You still want to get up there and get the Division 3 effectively, won't it be? So yeah, you want to get up there, and it's Stafford does fine in fantasy. He's got Cup there, he's got Puka there. He'll do fine in the run in. He won't knock out the park, but he won't be terrible either. This is the one. I half understand why people sit with 2 quarterbacks, one on the bench. Just not 2 big ones that you have to make a decision on. I'm always, but there's always if you have a second quarterback on your bench and your quarterback goes down hurt, then you're fine. But and this is what happens when your quarterback is down and you don't. So I run into this quite often as well. You have to give up a Chris Olave to go and get one.
Yeah.
But
Like you say, though, Chris Olave is
one.
going to. The problem with Chris Olave is when you're going to play him, because you could play him 1 week, he does nothing. The next week, you don't play him, and he does 20,
Oh,
30 points.
no,
So,
no, he's one of those players, Johnny. You've got to play him every week, and that's the problem Lancashire Bombers has got as well. Not be able to leave him out. You've got to play a Chris Olave every week. He's a bona fide superstar. His rookie season was fantastic, and you can see what he can do when the ball's thrown to him.
yeah, but it depends. Hold on, let's see who's got.
You're not leaving Olave out ever, no chance.
Well, he's got Stepan Diggs, Devontae Adams, Christian Kirk, Watson, Sayflowers, Wilson, Michael. What is it? Michael Wilson, Atwell, and Neville Lappy. So he's got plenty of receivers.
You're
But
playing
yeah,
him in front of most all of them, though. You know, it's
yeah.
Olave plays.
Well,
And we'll
maybe
see.
not ahead of Adams and Diggs, but certainly ahead of the rest of them. So
Yeah, well, it's I'd argue ahead of Adams, but okay.
well, he
And
did well
you
last week.
could argue ahead of Diggs as well these days. By the way, Diggs is not doing that well. But yeah, it's a good trade for Lanarkshire Bombers picking up a player like Chris Olave, and if that's the receiver room he's going into, that's 3 really strong receivers he's got there. And Manchester Spinners needed the quarterback.